What's up guys, my name is Tristan Fisher aka Tap Studios, and for today's video I'm going to be showing you my accepted Sheridan animation portfolio. For those who don't know, last year I applied and I did not get accepted due to a low portfolio score. So what I had done is, right when I found out that I didn't get in, I was like, you know what, I gotta stick to it, I gotta keep trying, you know. So that same day I got that rejected score, I was like, hell nah, like I'm gonna start now, you know. So I started that day and started working my way out. It really did pay off, which I'm happy about, but I'm also grateful that I'm given the chance to attend this school because I know it is very competitive. And that's it. But without further ado, let's get started into this video, and I'm going to show you guys how pretty much I went through this process of the portfolio. First, we have the score sheet. So the domestic cutoff to get accepted to the program was 89% this year, whereas last year it was 85%. So to be totally honest, I would only be expecting it to go up the next following years. Now, first off our list here, we have figure drawing. For figure drawing, they required us to do 2 long poses, 5 to 20 minutes, and 2 short poses, 1 to 3 minutes. And due to COVID restrictions, I knew a lot of us didn't have access to live drawing, so Sheridan had made it an option to just draw from photographs. For the first 2 poses, you really want to focus on anatomy and structure because these poses just have to be someone sitting or standing. And for the next 2 poses, you want to focus on gesture and movement because they usually want to see an action pose of some sort. I would also suggest starting these as soon as possible and making it a habit to do figure drawings if it's once a week, every day, or whatever works for you. Because this is something I know they really do stress at Sheridan, so making sure you're confident with figure drawing will definitely help you in the end. Next, we have hand drawing, where we were required to show the hand holding a small object and then throwing the small object. For the hand drawings, I really found it helpful to flip back and forth between them. This was just to make sure they were consistent in both size and placement. Another thing is you really want to focus on the shapes of the hand, showing the box in the middle of the palm and then sort of like dividing the fingers into cylinders, or in other words, showing the construction lines. And next, we have character rotation. The story behind this drawing is actually kind of hilarious because I wasn't even going to choose this character. I had another character I built up preparing to submit, and sort of the day before things were due, I was like, screw it, and changed my mind and did this one. Luckily, I got full marks on this, whereas I honestly feel like if I went with my other character, I would have got some marks off. Mainly because my other character, I was trying to just be too extra with it, whereas this one I feel like was simple and straightforward. I think they're just looking for a character that looks like it could actually be in a cartoon. Also, make sure you pay attention to the shapes. Simplify your character into basic shapes. Don't make him look super detailed and have some crazy type of anatomy. Simplify it down because for character rotations, this is meant for the animators to look at, so making it as simple as possible will make it easier for the animators. Next is animation. Every year they give you a character, usually it'll be like a simple object of some sort. This year it was a walkie-talkie. With the model sheet that's given to you, it's up to you to stay consistent following the different views that they provide, in which consistency is very important, along with all the other principles of animation. These principles are really important because this is what makes simple objects like walkie-talkies come to life and be believable. For example, the principle of anticipation is shown in the beginning where you can see the walkie-talkie slowly rising from its sleep. Then, the principle of squash and stretch is shown when the walkie-talkie jumps back. Next is storyboard. So for storyboard, every year they give you a character. This year, along with last year's character, was a possum. This year's theme was beauty is only skin deep. So pretty much similar to last year's. I'm sure this is pretty self-explanatory, but you really want to show the beginning, middle, and end, and make sure in each panel you are remaining consistent. This includes not breaking the 180 rule. The 180 rule means just keeping your character on the same side in each panel. For example, as you can see, is my character stays on the left side of each panel. If he were to flip and go on the right side, it would confuse the viewer and think that this was a totally different character, or Did he just teleport? Like, you know, it needs to just make sense, because these are just simple beat boards where they're not really as in-depth as real storyboards, but it's just kind of a rough idea for an actual scene. And next we have perspective line drawing. I don't really have much to say about this because
I kinda used my old drawings.
Yes, you heard me correctly. I used the drawings that I used last year, and surprisingly, I'm guessing because maybe it was a different professor that graded them, I had gotten 1 extra mark. And so hey, I'm not complaining, but honestly, don't do what I did. I'm not gonna recommend it. Pretty much, I don't got anything to say about these other than do your research, tell a story, and avoid tangents. If you do not know what tangents are, look it up, find it on YouTube, something, it will be there. Avoid them. And last but not least, my favorite section, personal work. If you don't already have a lot of personal work, definitely start as soon as possible, because this is something that never really changes throughout the years. Another tip I would recommend is choose pieces that have more storytelling over fine art. Although I did have a couple things like the charcoal drawing and maybe my watercolor studies, the rest of the pieces are things that have a story to it. And everything you're seeing here is all in one PDF. So for sketchbook stuff, instead of having individual pages count as one piece, you can merge it all into one PDF. So it could be like a collection of sketchbook work.
Don't kind of look at me like I'm a professor, because I'm not even a program yet, you know, like I'm just telling you what I learned from other YouTube videos and from other people and based on myself.
At the end of the day, we don't get feedback. Once we get the accepted or rejected, they don't give us any feedback. They just, here, you got in, here, you didn't. Those who didn't get accepted, don't give up. Don't look at it as, oh, screw this, like I can't do it. Just look at it as you're only going to get better from here on out. That's as long as you use your time wisely and actually do the work. I totally understand that everybody has their own pace, but never confuse everyone having their own pace with simply doing nothing. Doing nothing and not working hard for what you want isn't going to get you anywhere. That's not, oh, my pace is just slower. You can't make that excuse for yourself. Make sure you settle that mindset. It's all about mental health, and I know that the portfolio can be kind of stressful or very stressful. I kind of looked at it as in, rather than taking it, oh my gosh, I didn't get in last year, I got rejected, I looked at it as an L for lesson and not L for loss, because in the end, I honestly do feel like I'm better off as an artist now, whereas if I were to get in last year, I don't feel like I would have been all that prepared. Overall, I hope some of you may have found this video valuable in some way, whether you're a future applicant or if you're simply just looking into the Sheridan program. And also, if I didn't get to any questions you might have had, don't be afraid to leave them down in the comments below, and I will try my best to get back to you. Lastly, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button down below to stay updated for new content. Peace out.